Hi there, this is Scannet Discovery. Scannet Discovery is an application that is, as it says by its name, it is a network discovery tool. It will scan entire networks globally, and it traverses networks at the rate of 250 nodes per second. And if you have a fragmented network structure, many offices scattered all over the globe, this will scan from one location. It will scan your entire operations network wide. And it will scan millions, and it, as I say, scans at 250 nodes per second. It returns the IP address, host name, and MAC address. If you don't find host names in the results, then you've got you're not using reverse DNS on. It's not set up on your DNS server, and it's prudent to do that because a lot of applications do use reverse DNS. So as I say, if you don't see host names, if you're only getting IP addresses in the host name column, then you don't have reverse DNS set up. Or it's some other DNS related issue, but the application uses reverse DNS, and if it's not getting results, then there's something wrong with the configuration at your end. The application starts like this. This case, it's been run before from my machine, but I've just killed the database off. What happens in that situation is in the licensed version, it always reconnects to the database. In the unlicensed version, you have to put the IP address back in every time. But because this is licensed, what it's done is it started up, tried to connect it to the database, went to the server, found the database wasn't there, so it recreated the database. So we're now sitting, it's now ready to go, it's connected to the server, it's got a new, fresh database, there's nothing in it. We can pop across there and have a look at the empty, 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 there's nothing there. Nothing up my sleeve. And we now put in the IP addresses of our target address space that we want to scan, and tens of thousands if you like. I'm just going to do a class C, so 192.168.1.1. don't use 0 on the end because that means all nodes, and then through to 192.168.1.245. Don't worry about this box, it will automatically fill that in. It's ready to scan now, and this is the first scan. It's going to scan and give us some data which we can then authorize, tell it what's authorized and what's not. This is the authorize button. So we're ready to go. We click the scan button and we watch down here to see how long it's taken, and it should take about 3 seconds on this network. I know that from experience. There's not many things on this network, but it's slower when the network is predominantly empty because it waits for non-responsive nodes to actually respond, so it slows it down. A fully populated network is proportionally faster. So we're ready to go. Click the button, and 254 nodes in no minutes, no seconds. It skipped one node, which was the broadcast, so it's avoided the broadcast. So that says 254 nodes done in less than a second. And let's go and have a look at the data. And thank you. And let's go back to that one. So there we are. So that was it. There wasn't much there. Got that in that time, less than a second. Got all that. Got the MAC addresses, IP addresses, host names. These These don't have a host name. That's a printer. It doesn't have a host name. That I don't know what that is. I think it's a laptop actually. It's not on the domain. That's a router. That's another printer, and that's another laptop. They aren't on the domain, these. Now, if I now ran the Scannet Systems module, it would go and pick up from everything that's on the domain. It would get whether it's a workstation or a server, a member server, PDC. It would see whether it's a laptop or a desktop, what operating system is running, and the new columns would appear here, and I'd be able to group and look at things grouped by operating system or domain member or physical, all the laptops together and things like that. So we can add notes to these things. This is the notes. We put in there, put some notes in, press the enter key to save that record, and there it is. There's the data. We go to this one. We can put some notes in there. Okay, enter key to save the record, and there's the notes there. We can also go to what we want to do is authorize everything on the network. So this is the authorize column. So let's authorize everything. This is the authorize all button. We've now authorized everything, but we want to test to see if this. We want to make this send messages on when unauthorized items appear. So let's tell it that this is unauthorized, and just one will do. Also, we'll be sending emails all over the place. So we've told it that that is unauthorized. So we've got one unauthorized item on the network. So let's set this up to handle emails altogether. It needs a mail server, which is Exchange, an SMTP server 192.168.1.1, and it needs to have a message it's going to put into the client application Outlook to say where it came from. So this is going to come from scanit at minisoftltd.co.uk and enable. If we don't enable, then no emails from the system will be sent at all. So that's enabled. So it's going to send. Let's just check this. Yes, that's fine. Now we need some recipients. This functionality isn't available in the demo in the free version. So we want a recipient. So there's none in there. So we click on the click here to add a new row anywhere on that row. So let's click there to add a new row, and we can put Trevor Smith. Whoops. And then press the enter key, new row. We could have put somebody else in now. Don't want to. I could put notes in. Don't want to do that either. Want to go to the contact information for this recipient, Trevor Smith. It's Trevor Smith. Contact information is Trevor's at minisoftltd.co.uk. Enter key. The enter key moves from column to column, and when it gets to the last column, it creates a new record. Now we want to say what event that Trevor Smith. I could have put multiple entries in the previous window, and so Trevor Smith could have had multiple email addresses, home address, business address, whatever. So there's only one. So Trevor Smith is going to be notified of unauthorized nodes, and we're going to enable that. So that is all ready to go. Enter, enter, enter. That's all ready to go. We already did the setup. That's ready to go. So on the next scan, what we should see is that should trigger something. So we run a scan, 57, 254. Took a little longer that time because it's dealing with emails as well. 3 seconds. And so now that should pop up any minute. It should pop up the message to say it found an unauthorized node. Now normally, and again this feature isn't available in the demo, in the free one, it's only available in the licensed one. We can set up schedule, so we can tell this to run every 5 minutes all day, every day, and it would then monitor servers and things, and anything you tell it that you want to be informed about, and it will tell you when those things are unavailable, when they disappear and not picked up on a scan. That's I'm just wondering whether we get that email's going to come through in time. It's all very much dependent on the refresh rate of the server. So that covers that. These demos are very bad, and I appreciate that. They're very crude. The applications are changing rapidly. We're bringing them to the market. It's a bit of a testing process to see how they'll be received, and we're adding features all of the time. They're changing so quickly that it's difficult to pin them down long enough to do a fixed demo. So they're crude, they're unprofessional. When the applications stabilize a little bit more, then the demos will be more formalized, and so we apologize and hope that this will give you a bit of a start, really. And if you need any further help, by all means contact us, and we're more than pleased to help you through that process. So thank you very much. Just wondering where that email went, but clearly it hasn't popped up yet. But this is where we would indeed get emails from the system at this point. So thank you very much.